This is the Yorkshire Business Woman podcast, supporting, inspiring and promoting women in business.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Freda Shafi, and I'm delighted to be interviewing for the Yorkshire Business Woman podcast, Lisa Darwin. Lisa has a career, believe it or not, spanning 25 years. Not only is she a stylist, a blogger, an entrepreneur, but she's cultivated so many skills over that time, and we're delighted to have her in the studio today to tell us more about it. So Lisa, handing over to you, I'm going to start with a quote that I read that really struck me actually. So I'm going to start with that quote and we'll take it from there.
Okay.
So, with over 24 years in fashion, styling, events, coaching and leadership, I have devoted my life to helping people and businesses rebuild, transform and achieve much more than they thought possible. I love that quote, Lisa, from you.
It's a bold statement, I suppose.
It's a bold statement, but it actually it encapsulates what you do and everything you are. So, Lisa, tell me more about your ventures. I've listed 3 incredible ones here. Let's start with, obviously, the Lavish Community, the Fashion Ball and coaching. So take it away, Lisa.
I'm exhausted just listening to that, actually. So I'll start with the Fashion Ball because that's my original venture, really. And I think we're approaching about 27 years. I know, it's crazy to think it's been running that long.
27.
Yeah. And I love that. It's like my first child in a way because I'm mum of 3. But the Fashion Ball was something that was just set up really from an idea all those many years ago. And I was still working for a business at the time, but they loved the idea. So I went ahead and set that up. I was very young, can I say, in my 20s.
It must have been such... For that time, 27 years ago, I don't think there was anything like it, especially in Yorkshire. So
no, there wasn't. So a lot of these kind of landmark events we have now, a lot of the business awards and everything, they just didn't exist back then. So the Fashion Ball was quite unique, and I think it still is, because I haven't found anyone as crazy as me to kind of take that event on.
I think sometimes you have to take risks, whether you call that crazy or whether you call that just being brave and bold and daring and taking a leap of faith. That's how I see it. Where did the idea of the Fashion Ball?
So the idea came from because back in the day, everybody was networking, but there wasn't many networking events for women. As such, we went to the races and things like that, but there was much more available for men with the sporting side of networking, with the cricket and the footballing, everything. And I've always supported charities all my life, really loved to give back. So, and I've always loved fashion. I am a shopaholic, a qualified shopaholic.
Well, I suppose you have to look the part in order to be doing what you do in fashion. You have so many strings to your bow in the fashion world, but also with empowering and engaging women on so many different levels. I think it's important to own your image, and I think that's what you do, Lisa.
Yeah, I think clothes for me, as a young girl, I love dressing up. I love watching mum get ready. And my nana used to be an amazing dressmaker, so I've always loved clothes, really. And over the time, with working with so many different women of ages and backgrounds and cultures, I've just seen how powerful owning your identity, creating your identity and having that focus on yourself empowers women and gives them confidence. So I've always loved that side of it. And with the Fashion Ball, it does that, but for men as well, because there's as many men involved in the Fashion Ball as women, which I never saw coming. But there is, there's a real strong crowd of both, really.
I've seen that, having attended your fashion balls. I've seen representation. The landscape for representation changes every year. But at the last event, I saw people of different identities, genders represented freely. There were men, there were women, and people of all ages, of all ethnicities walk down your catwalk, Lisa, and that's actually very encouraging to see that it's very inclusive. Do you feel that fashion and what you do in the arena of styling, you're also a columnist as well?
Yeah.
I mean, you have so many strings to your bow, Lisa. You are incredible.
I love it all, you see.
But do you think that's good? And I think as humans, we do have the ability to nurture our skills and cultivate our talents. We shouldn't ever really limit ourselves.
Yeah.
But do you think fashion is a natural conduit, a natural way to engage people across all of your different skill sets? Tell me more about the life coaching, because that's something I was looking at and reading and thinking I really wanted to enroll actually on one of your courses.
Oh, you're welcome.
Because you cover lots of different things, from health, well-being, managing stress, managing all aspects of life, which are quite difficult. Demanding.
Yeah.
But again, you know, on the website, it shows people of different ages going through different things in their lives. How did that start, Lisa? How did the coaching start?
So I'm so excited about the coaching side of it, and it has changed really since COVID, which, can you believe, is a blessing in disguise. So because of the Fashion Ball and working with so many businesses, so many fashion brands and professionals really, and people, it opened doors to the coaching side as well. So organising workshops, going into people's businesses and organising workshops where we come together and we do sessions on, you know, identity has always been a really good one, communication skills, how to present, all those kind of things. So it's been going on for a long time, but never really formulated it into a separate business. So with the Lavish side of it, we have really focused on doing that, and it's got its own platform now with a dedicated website and everything. And we've got some really exciting plans happening with that. So on the Lavish side, it predominantly was myself, but I'm not the master of every trade going, and I don't want to be.
Well,
so,
I noticed there were lots of things on there. Just like I said, it was about managing stress, managing bereavement, managing different aspects of things that affect people on a day-to-day basis. So you must have an incredible team as well that supports everything that you do, and going into businesses and engaging with, like I said, people of all ages.
Yeah. So what I found was with working and speaking predominantly with women, but also we look after men as well, but it's predominantly women. I'm a massive fan of cheering women on, and I always have been. So I really do get excitement from that. So with that, when I was coaching them, if you like, on their lives, because we've all got about 10 different roles in life, from maybe being a mum, a wife, a friend, a sister, a businesswoman. Our tasks are endless, really, and it's incredibly demanding, I would say. And we forget about us. So when we look at our to-do list, we're probably not on there. I'm the same, and I teach this. But even myself, I can find myself thinking I need to listen to what I talk about sometimes, because, life's so busy and we're all wanting to achieve. So things drop off, and I find it tends to be our things. So things what we want to do in life, or what we would love to achieve, because we do put our families first and our children first.
Absolutely.
And that's just my heart anyway. But what I found for working with the ladies was they'd have so many aspects they wanted to talk about. So it wasn't just how they looked. It was again how they were feeling, and the pressures of all that, and especially with social media these days, with comparing and thinking, I'm not good enough, and most people have that, unfortunately, more than ever.
They do.
I've seen, and
They
it's
do.
so sad. But it is a fact, really, that everyone's dealing with this kind of pressure and comparison. And if we do that, we're never going to be good enough in anything.
Absolutely.
So it's trying to steer people away from that and to look more on reality. What can you achieve, and what are you doing so well already? So what we've done is I've gone out there and sought out like-minded coaches, if you like, in different areas. So from nutrition and health, to specific things like the menopause. And what we're doing, we're collaborating on this online platform. So we're going to have like a suite of coaches, professionals in their own arena to cover everything. A girl could possibly want from the way she looks, even to like skincare, makeup, how to manage time, how to manage family. And together we can offer a much greater and more professional service, really.
I think that's brilliant. Even we're in the same age bracket, Lisa, and even at my age, I still believe we're constantly having to navigate different pressures. A new project might come along, and obviously, we never want to turn anything away that we're excited about, like yourself. But then it means something goes.
Yes. So
we're constantly having to almost reevaluate our time management, and that's something I struggle with personally, just managing the family and making sure I've got time to deliver to deadline and making sure that something doesn't drop off. You're dealing with a really wide demographic, from younger women to middle-aged women to very mature women. So that in itself is a challenge. Do you have, I know you said you have different professionals for different areas of what you're dealing with. But do you find that there is such a massive range of people wanting different things at different times?
Absolutely. And someone's week could look different, their month could look different. This is why we love what we do, because, one week you might think, I could do with help. Kind of re-looking at my diet, for instance, I'm tired, these kind of things. And then the following week, it might be a different challenge altogether. So what we're trying to do through Lavish is offer a platform where you can jump on.
It's good.
24/7, and there's resource to download.
That's brilliant.
Yeah, so resources download where you can have, PT classes on like YouTube and just have all this resource to your hands, but under one roof. Because I've got girlfriends and they might have a life coach, they might have a stylist, they might, they've got a PT trainer, they've got a nutritionist. I mean, how lucky are they? But
Very
not a lot of people
indeed.
can afford these kind of extras and these things.
No.
So we really want to make it affordable as well. So it's
I
not.
noticed it's very accessible.
It is
in
very
terms of
accessible to all.
the price point, which is why I said I'd like to jump on and take advantage of what's on offer, Lisa. So how would I go about doing that? For example, if there were certain things that I was struggling for one, let's just say, for example, if I was struggling with time management and making sure that, I am delivering all my deadlines.
I can feel the pressure.
Making sure that, I'm midlife. So obviously there's other pressures as well in terms of hormonal changes and balances, nutrition. As somebody who is, all about the food, that sometimes, even for myself, can go out of kilter as well by putting my family first. How would Lavish help somebody like me?
Yeah, so there's different levels. So what we've created, as you've said, is accessible to all. So we've kind of price pointed it, so it's like buying a cup of coffees a week kind of thing. And we wanted to keep that because we don't want to exclude anybody, because our heart is to help, really, and support. So there's like a monthly membership where you have access to the website and the downloads and the tutorials and the kind of recipes and things like that. And then we do like a monthly Insta Live and tutorials and things.
Fantastic.
Where we have like a panel setting, or one of the coaches will come on and we'll have a chat about a certain area. And then you can access the consultants directly, because we really wanted to support their own businesses, their own clinics. So you don't have to come through me. They're fully accessible through the website, so you can book a session with them directly to focus in on something niche. And then there's a different program called the Lavish program, which is like a 12-week program where we have a hit list.
That was the one I was really interested in.
I really love that one.
The 12-week program.
And it really does work. So you have a hit list and we chat to you. It's like an application format, and you write down on there what you are hoping hoping to achieve in those 12 weeks. And we kind of create a group around that. And the other thing that I love, it is a community. So whilst you may have a one-to-one session, there is a community that you can be involved with, and a lot of sessions where you can be in a group of other women looking to achieve what you're looking to achieve, and they make friends.
That's brilliant.
As well.
Is a lot of this virtual? Can we actually physically go into a space and meet other people as well? Is there an opportunity to actually meet human beings? I know a lot of it is online, which is really convenient actually when you do work from home. So for me, the online virtual setting is brilliant, but actually meeting women face to face that have got similar issues is a brilliant
Yeah, we're
thing.
definitely doing that. So it's kind of flipped. So it was that. It used to be in person all the time. And then with COVID coming, I had clients coming to me. Some of the law firms and accounting firms would say, can you do sessions online for our clients? Just women groups and then mixed groups with men and women. And I was like, how do I do that? But we created this platform and it worked. And we had fun during COVID doing this. Honestly, it worked. So I thought, why have I never done it?
I know.
Why did I never do this? So after that, and we're still rebuilding the website as we speak, because it keeps changing all the time.
I noticed yesterday it was, it's actually quite beautiful, Lisa. It's kind of quite cinematography, you know, some of the actual imagery and the moving images that you have and the snippets from the Fashion Ball. They really inspired me.
Yeah,
I was going down a rabbit hole for about 2 hours.
You get lost.
Till,
Is that many?
you know, past midnight, actually, just exploring all the nooks and crannies, thinking this is like an Aladdin's den. It's incredible. It really is, you know, like the term lavish. Actually, the implication is abundance. And I really did feel that, Lisa. So I'm definitely going to subscribe to that and make sure I advocate it as well. I think it's brilliant. I want to go back to where we started, because that too is something that is worth exploring in more detail. The Fashion Ball. It's on the horizon, Lisa.
It is.
This very month, in less than 20 days.
Please don't do that.
You will be hosting the event that everybody wants to attend in Leeds, the Fashion Ball.
Yeah, so it is happening. It's on the 25th of April at New Dock, and we have so many amazing people involved.
I've noticed the sponsors as well.
Amazing.
And very impressive lineup of sponsors,
I know.
Lisa. Do you go out looking, or are you at a stage where people come to you now for
This year has
sponsorship?
been amazing for me, because normally it's tough out there, let's not lie, organising any events, big events of this nature. Competition's massive. So people have come, like, you know, a couple of them have kind of come and knocked on the door and said, we'd love to get involved. And I was just like punching the air thinking, wow, amazing. So we've been really blessed this year, but it's a lot of hard work as well, to kind of keep it fresh and relevant after all these years. We have over 60 professionals signed up to model. And when I say professionals, I don't mean professional models.
No, I know.
I love this. So they all work for Yorkshire businesses.
Brilliant.
So they're kind of solicitors, accountants, people who work in property, media. And they are putting themselves forward to walk this catwalk for their chosen charity.
That's
Which I
incredible.
love. So we're able to help this year so many Yorkshire charities, some, you know, some big named ones, but there's quite a lot that maybe people wouldn't have heard of, that will get support through the catwalk this year.
That's really good.
Yeah.
And again, I've noticed the demographic of businesses is so widely. So you have everything from law firms to obviously retail. With it being Fashion Ball, you have to represent the sector and the fashion industry, and the partners are mind-blowing, actually. And again, I'm sure with 26 years of a run behind you, they know that you know, you are the real deal, and they probably come to you now. Is that difficult because fashion is very competitive, and you know, the fashion world can be very cliquey?
It is.
So how do you engage or keep your partners engaged and interested each year? Like you said, you use the word staying relevant. How do you do that?
For me, everything's about relationship, and all the businesses I've set up and work in, it's all about people. and it's all about relationship, and that's just me because I love people. I think God's best idea was people, was humans. I really do. I just think, you take a human being, they're amazing, and like you said before, what we can achieve, what we can do. I just think I love working with people. So for me, it's about relationships. So some of my partners, like you've seen, were spanning up to close to, which is crazy, like 3 decades.
Goodness.
Some of the partners that have been involved on the fashion side, 20
Are you allowed
years.
to name names?
Can I name names?
Yeah, of course you can.
So, for example, if we take John Lewis.
I was about to say John Lewis.
I love John Lewis and Partners. So it took me years, and I mean years, to kind of collaborate with them, just because they are so brand driven and aligning themselves to brands or events, But luckily, thankfully, I think it was maybe 4 or 5 years ago, the door got opened with the Leeds store, and they're having a fabulous team. We're best friends,
Brilliant.
the stylist there and the team amazing. So they are definitely one of our strongest partners, and they love this event, and we love having them involved. And actually, what we've been doing behind the scenes is we're chatting with them now to become a national partner.
Amazing.
How amazing is this?
I've always thought John Lewis does have that amenability. Obviously, John Lewis and Partners, they've engaged in partnership schemes, so even their staff has, they almost like have ownership of the brand. From that vantage point, it just seems like a natural partnership to partner with somebody as hardworking, as diligent, and as committed to human beings and human values, which they profess to be, and they absolutely are. So it's almost like a match made in heaven.
It is a match, and because this year we launched into different cities, I must be crazy. So we're now taking FB. It's not only in Leeds, it's Manchester, Newcastle, Liverpool.
How do you do that, Lisa?
Birmingham.
I need to know how you launch in different cities and divide your time. Are we going international at some point?
There is chats for Dubai, but we're not going there yet. We're just not going there yet.
No, don't stop. Keep going.
So with the John Lewis brand, they're amazing because we're chatting with them now. They're very keen, very interested. It's so exciting what we're talking about.
Brilliant.
Into all of these cities. But my other brands like Reese, for example, again, I think we're 19 years down the line with Reese.
Gosh.
And Ted Baker as well, Jigsaw, Horse Curtis, all of these brands have been loyal to me, I would say, and they're so amazing. We're a family now, like a team.
I think it's important, though, that big brands, and we say big brands as if we are almost like, worshipping these huge brands, but actually the huge brands really do need to be
supported
there with the people. And who are their clients? It's people like myself and yourself, and people who aspire to almost have an image and align themselves with a brand. A brand should really take that into account. So I think it's important that you, and I'll use that word again, you're a conduit, Lisa, you're a connector, you're the person that connects what maybe people aspire to and think something is out of reach, and you make it real. And I really love that. I love that about everything that you represent as a woman, but also that trickles down into all of the things that you're doing in your businesses. And it really does manifest. And I think that's brilliant. And the fact that you are going national doesn't surprise me at all. So, Lisa, you're obviously a shining example of what is possible. But I do know it didn't come easily. As a woman, first of all, barriers to access are aplenty. Did you find that you had to smash a few glass ceilings in order to get to where you were, or did things come naturally? You must have encountered some barriers.
I did. Before I kind of stepped out and went into my own business, obviously I was organising the Fashion Ball whilst I was employed, but I was on the directorship team, on the management team of that business, which was a global recruitment company at the time. And I think that was my training ground, I would say, for what was ahead of me, launching into the Fashion Ball, because at one point I was the only female on the management team.
Wow.
For that business, and I'm talking nearly 30 years ago, so it's a long time ago, and things were so different. So in order to be taken seriously, I just felt you had to work twice as hard. You had to be image focused as well, not wanting to dress, masculine. But I think you just had to be mindful that you had to do more to kind of
Really?
just to be taken seriously on your day-to-day job, even because I was a commercial director and the culture manager at the same time, and the job was huge, but that was my best training ground. I got thrown at the deep end. They sent me, I think I was 25, and they said, go up an office in New York. I know.
Did you?
I did, yeah, with a girl who works with myself, Rebecca. And the thing is, we had the best time, but what a training ground that was. And at the time, when I look back now, those opportunities are rare.
They are very rare.
Because they trusted me with a lot. But this is where the skills have been trained from, really.
Well, I think it's brilliant that you were trusted to do that, because that in itself is very rare. So you must have had some kindred spirits watching you and supporting you and championing you to enable you to do that.
Yeah, I did. And the chaps I worked for were really entrepreneurial.
Good.
They were massive thinkers outside the box. At that time, they were doing things in business that none of their competitors were doing. And so many people wanted to join that firm. It was an amazing journey, hard work. But I wouldn't, you look back and think, oh, crazy times.
When you're talking about the firm, what exactly was your skill set at the time? What was your job, should I say, to put it?
So I was, I originally came on marketing. So
you're from a marketing background.
Marketing, building brands, which I love. So as a little girl, I used to draw logos, create logos. This has always been in me. So I came on to do that and to kind of help run the business, which I'm a doer, so I'm an organizer. So this works for me. And then the job was massive. It grew huge. I became massively involved in recruitment, so recruiting for the firm. So we had a type, we would say, and we just knew if you were going to be a fit. There was a certain person who just flourished in this business, and you could spot them. You needed character for one, and then I got involved in all the operational side of things. Yeah, I know. I think I slept in the office so many times.
It says passion. It screams passion.
But this was my life's work there, really, because I got into this job by accident, would you believe? So I went there as a temp over summertime, and no intentions of staying, because I was still studying and everything. And then they offered me the position. But I just fell in love with this firm and the guys that were involved in there, and the women. And it was a really good season. I think I was there 15 years maybe. But we opened up so many offices, Manchester, Edinburgh, Liverpool, like I said, New York. And I got to kind of get into the interior design, creating these offices as well.
You hit the ground running, Lisa.
I did.
And it definitely, it sounds almost, when you say accidental, I just believe that we create those opportunities, and I think the fact that you flourished in that environment is a testament as well. You've actually carved your own niche from that grounding, which is brilliant. So I know you talked about mentoring women, and you sound as though, if you go back, my next question almost sounds redundant, to be honest with you. But is there anything you would go back to your younger self?
Yes.
And say, but I
would.
You would.
I would. Yeah, I definitely would.
Even though you seem like such a trailblazer and a doer, what would you say to your younger self?
I think we've all been here, and it's the confidence, probably. Having the confidence to really do what you want to do. And I think everyone has a certain degree of imposter syndrome.
You do.
And it's a managed thing on a daily basis, really, because that little voice in your head telling you, maybe you're too young to do this, you've no experience to step out and do this. So I think it's being brave, really, and having that confidence early on. And I think, and it's still here with everybody now, comparing yourself to other people of your age, and just things like this, and thinking, oh, they're better than me, or they've achieved that much quicker than myself. So I think it's a good telling off in a way, which is,
I think so, just
focus on what you're doing, and to go for it.
Keep
I
your
would
eyes
say
on your own,
absolutely,
on the prize that you envisage. And again, just going back to what you said about social media, it can be, it's almost like a dysmorphia that a lot of people have, and it's not real.
It's not real.
It's all, quite fabricated and choreographed. And
it's quite sad,
nurtured.
really.
It is, and thankfully we're not in the generation that grew up with social media, so we don't have to curate images as young people do. And I think it's really important what you're doing through Lavish to try and dismantle and dispel a lot of the idea of salt and sugar looks the same.
Yeah.
But they're so different. Yeah. And, social media can make everything look as though it's not what it is. Yeah. As I said, salt can look like sugar, sugar can look like salt, but they're very, very different. Very different. And it's almost morphing everybody in the same sphere, which is sad. But I think, what you're doing is dismantling.
Well, what we're hoping to do is to get people to love themselves. So the key message is, I think, and this is where you can really help the younger generation, you've really got to love yourself.
Warts and all.
Warts and all, because you are you and there is only one you. And it's, when we get to kind of where we are in life, you realise that. But when we were teenagers and early 20s, you could have a list of things you'd love to change. But I don't know if you're like this, but I am. When I look back at those pictures now, I would pay good money for that body.
I know.
I really would.
But who did we have as our role models? I mean, at the time, our contemporaries were, I suppose it was the supermodels. That's the only thing that
I don't
represented women, but they were so
beautiful.
Out of reach, really, for the normal person.
We're not going to be Cindy Crawford. I mean, we can try.
But they were, I suppose, the icons at the time. But now they've aged with us, and it's refreshing to see that they're embracing. They do look good, but they're also embracing their flaws. You've seen that the bodies have changed, and they're embracing their midlife bodies. They're embracing their grey hairs, and some of them are actually celebrating going grey naturally and skin issues, and they're not so fixated on making sure that their skin is wrinkle free, and flaws are celebrated as well.
Because I just think we get this one life, and it is a gift, absolute gift. And how sad if we don't live it as ourselves. We're trying to live it as somebody else. It's such a sad thing. I think how the younger generation are growing up, they're almost forced down a route, I think, which is you can't be yourself because you don't look good enough, or your life's not good enough. And I think it's wrong. That
comes down to, dare I say it, branding and marketing.
Absolutely.
And being bombarded with messages. And even now it's still happening. There is still a lack of representation from older women. I'm in my 50s now, but I very rarely see women in their 50s. Just walking into a high street shop yesterday, I noticed still the billboards were very young, very waif-like, very beautiful young girls, actually. I don't even say women. So, when I look at something like a trench coat that I need, or a Mac, to keep myself dry on a school run, but it's been modelled by an absolutely stunning teenager.
Who's, size 0.
It doesn't really resonate with me, but I'll still buy the trench coat. But there needs to be an older representation. So even now, Lisa, sadly, we're still
not there.
Being coerced.
We're still not
subliminally coerced into believing that I'm going to look like that waif wearing that trench coat, and I'll show you I did buy it. And it looks,
we can hope. We just can live in hope.
I don't look like that, but I hope I look real.
I think working in this industry for so long, like I have, it has come a long way. It used to be a lot worse. I mean, it did, because I used to do modelling back in the day, and it used to be a lot worse. It has got so much better. And I think the brands are being educated, and even chatting to them like we do about, sustainable fashion and what businesses are doing. Good. There is so much more effort now than there's ever been, I would say. And people are listening now more than ever. We're still not there. There's a lot of work that needs doing, but I think there's more of a platform for this now, because even with the Fashion Ball, what we've done, we've grown our message of sustainable fashion, and this year particularly we have a huge fashion scene dedicated to restyled second-hand clothing.
Brilliant.
I know, and
Brilliant.
we're collaborating with Leeds Smart Works.
Oh, fantastic.
I know,
What a
on
brilliant
that.
charity. that
Amazing
is.
charity. So Tracy Fletcher there, who's the chair of that charity, has been involved in the Fashion Ball for 17 years now. And she's modelling again, which is amazing.
Great.
So we're having a lot of their outfits on that catwalk restyled, with various women strutting down there wearing them.
For anybody that doesn't know what SmartWorks is, it's
Yes.
a fantastic initiative to encourage, support and make women feel confident about entering into the workplace.
Yeah.
And it's women who are from, economically
Yes.
deprived backgrounds that don't necessarily have the means to go out
That's
and buy
right.
a brand new suit
Like
to wear
single
to an
mums as
interview.
well.
So it's an opportunity for them to go and be styled.
Yes.
Commensurate to a role that they're going for.
Absolutely.
And I love seeing the social
Yeah.
media posts where they'll show a picture of somebody wearing something from SmartWorks,
Yeah.
and they got the job.
They prepare them, I think, mentally as well, for interview, with their help with their CVs. And they have people volunteering to do this. So stylists like myself and people from the workplace in recruitment and other businesses, they will come in and spend time
Brilliant.
on a one-to-one with these ladies to
But don't
prepare
you
them.
think that image and actually feeling good
Oh, yeah.
in what you're wearing is actually a very big factor? I'd say that's 50% of confidence, making
Yeah.
sure you feel as though you fit in. And, I'm the mother of a teenager, so
Yeah,
I
me
understand
too.
body image, and I understand making sure that, whether it's a hoodie or whatever, it has to be the right image in order for that confidence to be
Yeah.
boosted. So as a stylist, you must see that every day.
Oh, it's
Lisa.
hugely. And I see the difference. This is why, with the Lavish and the Fashion Ball, I love doing it, because I always clarify it to like putting on your armour. So you get
Definitely.
ready for your day, and that day could be suited and booted. You might need a power suit on there. And it is like putting a character on, I think, with clothes. You get dressed
Tell me about
for
your
your day.
outfit today.
This is
then.
quite cosy, can I be honest?
It's beautiful, Lisa. I'm looking at it, and I was wondering when I was getting ready myself, I wonder what Lisa's wearing. Maybe
This
I
is
should
my
have called
go-to.
her.
Can I be honest with you? As a stylist, I love
absolutely
colour.
stunning.
I've got so many bright pink, bright blue suits and everything. But my go-to is always kind of off-white. I don't know. I just feel at home in these colours.
Really suits you.
I think me and my
Colouring.
family are known for wearing this colour. Even my
really?
children. I've got a little Noah who's turning 7 soon. I dress him in this colour. Elizabeth, who's 9, I dress her in this colour. And my Alexander, who's 15. And as a family, we would go out and we have, people take fun and say, oh, you look ready for a photo shoot.
But I think it's what you look good in. Obviously, skin tone is a big thing.
Oh,
so
I
you
just
know
love
that
these colours.
Certain things. So you've got the skin tone and the colour matching.
I like
Spot on,
calm.
actually.
I think when you even my home as well, I like calm. And I think these natural colours are just so...
Yes, neutrals. yeah.
Neutrals are just calming to me. But then I'll come out in bright red, or I'll come out in cerise pink.
I've seen you in many different colours as well,
I
Lisa.
know, and
you always-
sparkle.
yes.
Oh, I'm a Christmas tree. I love sparkle all year round.
There's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. And I want to talk about Yorkshire now, Lisa,
Go on,
because
let's
you are
do
a
this.
Yorkshire lass.
I
like
am. I
myself.
love Yorkshire.
So, tell me, as a Yorkshire girl,
Yes.
you've worked in New York. You're a global presence. What can I say? You're an international.
There's no place like home.
There's no place like home. What is it about Yorkshire that keeps you grounded and makes you stay? I know you live in the south of Yorkshire, but what is it? What's the
Well, I
pull?
think apart from my family and friends are here, which is key. I'm a massive family person. I love my family and friends. So they obviously keep me here. But Yorkshire's beautiful. You can step out if you're going to the Yorkshire Dales or the Lake District. You could be anywhere, really. I think the landscape we have here with the coastal side of it as well is just beautiful. I love how friendly Yorkshire people are. We will talk to anyone.
Yes.
Let's be honest, we
In
could
a
be
queue.
stood waiting for a
For a
cab.
pasty.
Or we could be stood in a fish and chip queue or anything like that. We will talk, we will chat. And I love that friendliness, that warmth of Yorkshire people. And the other thing I love is we help each other. So I don't know if it's because of the businesses I choose to work with or the people I surround myself with, but we have a really friendly nature, I think, and very willing to collaborate and to roll our sleeves up attitude and to do what's needed to help.
I think that's where the word Yorkshire grit comes from,
Yes,
isn't it?
that's it, yeah.
We do definitely like to roll our sleeves up. I lived on the other side of the world and I couldn't wait to come back
home
and feel that warmth and amenability, and I think something that's very relatable. You know, it's real. I
think we're hard working in Yorkshire. I think we give things a go as well. I love the fact we'll go for it. So there's so many people in business that I know, and you just think, wow, you're going to try that. I mean, I'm the same person, and we will have a try.
I think the Yorkshire Business Woman personifies that.
Yes.
When you go to one of our networking meetings, you're in a room full of women who I visualise as a sea of hands cheering you on.
Absolutely.
And pulling you in.
Yeah.
So imagine we're in the sea and there's a load of hands
it's exactly
on a
that.
ship pulling everybody on, saying, come on, you're on this platform, we're all in it together.
There's like a team. It's like a team feeling, isn't it? Like a team approach to things. Don't get me wrong, everyone's really competitive in business, as you can imagine. But I just think with Yorkshire, it's friendlier.
Competition
and
is
good. We've got
good.
Yorkshire tea,
Competition makes us, absolutely, fish and chips, Yorkshire tea. But I think competition is good because it makes us, I suppose, raise our game.
Yes, absolutely.
So if we see somebody even doing what we're doing in our own niche and they're doing it, whether that's better or doing it differently, it's always good to be inspired. I believe in the abundance principle. So it's competition, but there's room for everybody, Lisa.
Oh, absolutely.
And if somebody is doing the same as me, I'm happy to welcome them in, as you demonstrate.
I think what it is, they might do the same as you and I, but we all have our own way of doing it. So I think you can always bring a personal touch to whatever you're doing, even if it's someone else is doing something similar. I think because of the nature is we will have a different take on it and we will do it our way.
Definitely.
As opposed to copying.
Absolutely. And I think that's the nature of competition and moving forward and innovation. We have to have something as something comparative in order to project us forward. So who's your biggest inspiration, Lisa?
Mine? Oh, my goodness. I've got quite a few.
Have you?
I think so. My mum's definitely mine. She's, my strongest woman that's been in my life, really. So I look up to her massively with the values of life, a positivity, the love, everything. So she's my role model, hands down. And then I've just got lots of good friends and family, people I've worked with as well, and I love learning. So I'm a real fan of kind of seeking people out who are doing things different or, that I would love to do. So I love all these motivational speakers, I'm not going to lie. I love positivity and listening to these people and learning from them. So with podcasts now, it's just amazing because you can put it on in your car and you're learning all the way driving into work. I absolutely think it's one of the best things ever.
I've had them on at night time falling asleep and I've woken up feeling almost like a new person.
It's so true. It's so true. I'm a woman of faith, so that's my upbringing, my background, and I think that helps to have hope and faith in your life. Good. And that's my background, and my friends there, and just how they live and we choose to live. Because everything's a decision.
I think having faith is something that, it might not be a fashionable thing.
No.
But as a woman of faith myself, I think
it's your anchor for me.
It instills values and integrity and ways of operating in a world where you know, it's almost like a barometer. You know
Yes.
that there are certain values that you will always hold close to your heart
Yeah.
about humanity.
For me, I think what it's been is a higher way of living. There's a better way to live. There's a nicer kind of way to live, and I think it's instilling those values and beliefs in your life, and it does naturally take you onto a higher level.
I agree. And when you say natural, I think that's hit the nail on the head. Our natural propensity as human beings, our natural disposition,
Yeah.
believe it or not, from an anthropological point of view, is actually support each other.
Yes.
Because if you think about it, mankind would not be
Yeah.
able to progress if we weren't supporting and enabling and engaging in a way that is
Yeah.
very humanitarian. You know, we would,
It's so true. Unity.
It is.
Yeah.
It's about unity. And I know the world can be a very fragmented place, which sadly it is now. But
Yeah.
ultimately, hopefully, humanity does prevail through values
Yeah.
of whether we call it faith, whether we call it just general humanity, and understanding the difference between right and wrong.
It's so true, though. And I think
Yeah.
there's a massive trend, isn't there, at the moment about manifesting. And I've never known it to be as popular. I mean, it's just something, but to me that would be maybe a prayer life,
Exactly.
or something in
Well,
terms
lots of religions have been
Yes.
doing it for centuries.
This is it. It's like having a
Faith
prayer
is-
life. To be honest,
Faith is manifestation because
Yeah.
you're asking a higher power or a vibration or whatever the
universe, as
the
people
buzzword
to me, yeah.
is. You know, the universe, whether it's the universe, whether it's a higher power, you are locking into that vibration
Yeah.
and aspiring to be either a better person or aspiring for better things
better
in your
things,
lives.
yeah, and help.
Exactly.
Help and support. And I think that's one of my groundings, I would say. That's got me through
The
everything,
most
I would
holy
say.
books are manifestation books,
Yeah.
if you think about it.
Yeah, and it's really crazy now because it's on Instagram
The
and a lot of
secret.
Americans are doing this. It's like, actually, this is just talking to God. This is
we
just like
grew
a
up
prayer
on that.
life. We grew up on this, yeah,
Yes.
and all of a sudden it's really trendy now. And
Well,
it just
hopefully, if manifestation aligns with faith, and
Yeah.
whether we call that religion or whether we call that humanity, again, you know, everybody's got their own interpretation and words for it. If it's for the betterment of humanity,
and it makes a person better.
it can only be a good thing, can't it?
Yeah, yeah. I think we all need hope, and a lot of people can seek it from different avenues. But I think you have to hold on to hope. Otherwise, what a scary place to live. The world.
It is.
Yeah, you need hope. You need to be positive. You need belief
And kindness.
and kind. I love kindness. I love that word. Kindness. It's a superpower.
It is.
I say this to my children. I say being kind, kindness is a superpower because we don't know what people are living. We don't know their journey.
I agree.
And, everyone's great at putting this smile on. We put the makeup on. We put the outfits on. But underneath, you could be broken. You could be struggling. And, found this with Lavish. We're all great actors at the end of the day, but the kindness, just a show of kindness. And it's not even about giving people things. It's time, it's listening. It's just being a good friend or a, good wife, good husband. It's just giving someone that attention, be seen.
I agree.
And I do think it's a massive superpower.
Kindness is actually the path of least resistance, because when you think of confrontation
Yeah.
and somebody that is confronting you or you're in a difficult situation,
Yeah.
if you take the path of kindness, it's so much easier and requires so much less energy than investing
Yeah.
in a full-on confrontation
Yeah,
with
or an
somebody.
argument. What a
Or an
waste of time.
And a waste of time and a waste of energy to
Yeah.
invest in negative emotions. Kindness will always prevail.
I totally
believe.
agree. I absolutely agree because
And I think that's the epitome of what you are actually, Lisa, going back to what I said right at the beginning, and your engagement with people and your love for people, the thread that illustrates everything that underlies your whole ethic is actually kindness.
Yeah, I love people to live well. So for me, one of my buzz things, and it works with the fashion ball, because we've had people who are, cancer survivors on that catwalk. So, and then going through to Lavish, people who are hit rock bottom. You know, there might be a single mum left. They're coming out of a situation which is horrific, or they're just struggling in life. For me, seeing lives turned around for the better is my thing. I think I finally realised what it is I love. And I love seeing people being fixed. I love seeing people making a comeback, you know, getting up off that floor and fighting for what's right, fighting for themselves and fighting for what they want and making a comeback. I love people's turnaround. I think that's what it is. And with the Fashion Ball, it can be a turnaround from forgetting about themselves, not loving themselves, losing themselves, and then they've got that interest and they start to look and feel different. And when I'm styling them for the Fashion Ball, sometimes I can see a light bulb moment go on. And they're looking at themselves in a mirror. Maybe they haven't done it because everyone's so busy. And some people have cried. Some people have looked at me and said, I don't know what you've done, but I feel more like me. And it's not just about the clothes. It's the whole process of taking time out and seeing that person and listening to them and chatting. It's almost like a therapy session, sometimes getting ready for the Fashion Ball. But, you know, and I said men and women as well, and, you know, people in their 20s right through to people in their 60s. It's not about age or gender. Everyone's the person, regardless of anything.
And once you have that confidence, I mean, just looking at your partners and looking at the demographics of your sponsors and people that want to engage with you, what do they want? They want people to perform better, Lisa.
Yeah.
So when you are feeling confident and when you are feeling that empowered, obviously you're going to do better in your job. You're going to
It's all about how you
better,
feel.
whatever role that is, whether it's law, whether it's accountancy. And I know you have lots of those kind of sponsors and partners, even though it's a fashion ball. You have those industries for a reason, because they want their colleagues, their employees to actually fulfill their potential. And looking good, like I said, it does work. It's up to 50% of mental health is actually making sure, not necessarily looking good in an optics, vanity, conceited sense. No. It's about how you carry yourself, how you sit and how you hold yourself in a room.
Well, I think your style, how you choose to dress, is a huge indication of the type of person you are, the character you've got, what you like to do, what you like to be. It is kind of showing the world a little bit, hey, this is me. That's why I love the fact when I say to people, wear what you want. You dress for you.
I was about to say that before you took the words out of my mouth. There are no rules, Lisa.
No, not at all. This is why I love it. You can just create anything. Sometimes you can, you know, if you come out with, so, you know, 1 minute I could be in sparkle, next minute I'm in feathers, the next minute I'm in joggers and a t-shirt, but that's my mood.
And it's how you feel
kind of for the day, And I think fashion and the whole getting together is team building as well. So when we see people getting signed up to model and things, they're having a huge team building moment, meeting other professionals who they've got like-minded things, like they love to kind of get together and do. And I think with the Fashion Ball, because it's got different sectors of everything, it just pulls everyone together.
And it's honesty as well. You'll often find in a room full of people that are wearing something that they'd never probably envisaged wearing. It really makes you reflect and talk about things that not even related to fashion. It's coming out of yourself. So even, you know, the whole sense of walking into a room and being completely restyled will engage people to talk to each other in a way that they never thought they probably could, actually. It breaks down barriers.
It does break down barriers.
Fashion is a brilliant way to break down anything creative that is making us, you know, kind of
because we have
outside of the box.
We have a new brand as well this year. So Mint Velvet got in touch.
Oh, Mint Velvet!
I love Mint Velvet. I love it. So they got in touch through social media, would you believe, and said, "We've seen this fashion show. We'd love to talk to you." And I was like, "What?" Because I love Mint Velvet, and I've probably worked with. I mean, I don't want to list them all, but I've the first ever fashion partner we had was House of Fraser. all those
That's
years
brilliant.
ago, and obviously they're not here now. So I've seen like Debenhams as well,
Yes.
so and Coast and everything. So many brands have come and gone, and I think if we can champion the high street, I mean, I do shop online. We're also
do as
it's
well.
time. We're also guilty, but
Yeah.
I think what I can when I'm chatting with the stores now, they're trying to create more than that. They're trying to create an experience.
Good.
So you have lots of these. Well, all of them, provide personal styling. So you can book in with John Lewis, you can book in with Mick Melvitt, Reese, and they will give you a personal styling session. So they're trying to make it more of an experience to go
Brilliant.
shopping now into store.
I hope that translates to the actual staff, because
Yeah.
I went in somewhere yesterday. I actually needed something, so I went and asked a young man who was working there, and he was fantastic.
Brilliant.
He was the best person I could have asked. He stopped.
Yeah.
He made me try it on. It was actually a coat, but he said, "Well, that's what my mum would wear." Maybe I didn't want to hear my mum would wear.
You still want to be hot, yeah?
But he said, "But my mum is very stylish, and she would wear that, and that's how it looks so brilliant. And the lines are fantastic." And I felt like
He's
he
doing
was
a
a
good job.
personal shopper, so
Yeah.
that in itself was a result. So
Yeah.
hopefully, brands and stores are doing that. They are.
They're trying to make a huge effort. They want to be here. And that's why I think it's brilliant to kind of, with the Fashion Ball, drive footfall into these stores, because that experience of shopping, it's like you go, it's probably just me who gets that tingle in my tummy, but you're buying this dress, you're walking out with the bag and you're thinking, I'm so excited to wear that.
It's called retail therapy.
We don't
Lisa.
want to lose. Yeah. We just don't want
Even
to
if it's
lose
an earring.
normal.
No.
Everything can't just be online. Otherwise,
No.
we're going to take everything away, these experiences. Because she then might think, oh, I've seen that, or I've seen that, grab a coffee. And just have that time out to look, because everything's a click of a button now.
Absolutely.
But what are we missing?